Welcome to Career Nest. Today, we will talk on why MTech from Germany.
Okay, picture this, a world-class master's in technology from the very heart of Europe. Now, what if I told you it could be completely free? Yep, that's what we're diving into today, the incredible opportunity of doing your MTech in Germany.
I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a trick question, right? A top-tier engineering degree loaded with research and big industry connections, but without the mountain of student debt? Well, in Germany, this isn't just some hypothetical. It's the real deal, and we're about to break it all down.
And the answer is a huge yes. At Germany's public universities, the tuition fee for international students is zero, nada, zilch. And get this isn't some super rare scholarship for a lucky few. It's the standard. That one little fact is a total game changer for engineers all over the world.
All right, so naturally, the first question on everyone's mind is, what's the catch? If it's free, does that mean the quality takes a hit? Let's get right into why, in Germany, free actually means world-class.
It all comes down to this core philosophy. In Germany, they see education as a basic social right for everyone, not some luxury product to be sold. So, the government pours a ton of money into its universities, not to turn a profit, but to make sure you get an incredible education with amazing teachers and research facilities.
So, what does this high-quality education actually look like on the ground? Well, German MTech programs are super hands-on. You're not just going to be stuck in a lecture hall. We're talking about a curriculum that's packed with research, a lot of time in the lab, and even working directly with some of the biggest names in the industry. It's all about connecting what you learn in theory to the real world right from the very beginning.
Okay, so we've established that the biggest expense, tuition, is off the table. That's huge. But you still have to live, right? So how do you actually manage day-to-day life as a student? Let's take a look at how the German system is set up to help you succeed, both in your studies and with your wallet.
And this is where the system really shines. It strikes this perfect balance. On one hand, you're there to be a full-time, serious student. But on the other, they give you the freedom to support yourself. As an international student, you can work up to 20 hours a week. For a lot of people, that's enough to cover your living costs and get some amazing local work experience on your resume.
And speaking of those living expenses, you might be surprised at how manageable they are. We're talking somewhere in the ballpark of 600 to 900 euros a month. That covers the essentials, like your rent, food, and transportation. It really makes the whole thing feel achievable, doesn't it?
Now let's talk about what happens after you get that degree. Because an MTech in Germany isn't just a piece of paper. It's basically your launchpad into a global career. You're not just in a country with a strong economy. You're smack dab in the middle of the industrial engine of Europe.
Just think about it for a second. The proximity is a huge advantage. You're not just learning about engineering in a classroom, you're literally in the backyard of global giants. We're talking BMW, Siemens, Bosch, Volkswagen, the list goes on. This creates a direct pipeline for internships, projects, and yeah, that all-important first job right after you graduate.
And the path after you graduate is actually designed to help you succeed. It's not like they just kick you out. Once you finish your MTech, you get a pretty generous 18-month job search visa. That gives you plenty of breathing room to find the perfect job in your field and really get your career started in Germany.
But wait, it gets even better. This opportunity is so much bigger than just your first job. For a lot of people, getting an MTech in Germany is just the first step, the first chapter in a much bigger story of building a long-term future in Europe. And the path to actually settling down there is surprisingly straightforward. So you graduate, you land a good job, and then you can apply for something called an EU Blue Card. It's basically a special work permit for skilled professionals like you. And after just a few years of working with that, you can be on a direct path to permanent residency. I mean, that really opens the door to a long-term future in Europe. So let's just recap for a second. When you put it all together, what Germany is offering is the whole package. You've got a top-notch, hands-on education, incredible access to the biggest names in industry, and a super clear path to a global career. And the best part? You get all of this without that crushing weight of student debt. When you combine that level of academic quality, that kind of career potential, and the fact that it's so financially accessible, it really makes you think. So the final question is pretty simple. If your future could start anywhere, why not in the engineering heart of Europe?